were confused on the timeline you're talking about of like, is she a homewrecker? So I guess my question is, Hailey, were you ever with Justin romantically at the same time as her?
No. Not one time.
Rumors abound about a secret Selena song, one that might never have been meant for public consumption, supposedly loaded with lyrics that sound somewhat too personal and very Bieber specific. Here's where it becomes fascinating now. Justin heard it, let's call his response not what fans expected. Some claim he stormed from the studio, others say he became emotional. So are fans reading between the lines a little too difficult, or is Selena really hiding a secret song? We must keep in mind the significant part music has played in their whole love story to help us to appreciate why Justin is feeling so strongly. For years, Justin and Selena have been expressing their emotions through their art, essentially engaged in a musical dialogue across several albums and eras. From his Nothing Like Us to her Lose You to Love Me, their songs have often expressed more about their actual emotions than any Notes app apology or Red Table Talk could have. This recently unearthed song apparently carries on that musical conversation, but with a degree of realism insiders find impossible to ignore. Those with insider knowledge claim the song has references to private events that only the two of them shared, so creating an emotional time capsule that hits Justin exactly in the feelings despite all the years that have passed. Eventually, Justin's emotional processing event resulted in a vulnerable conversation with Hailey, not projecting conflict but more of a check-in about emotional baggage and the difficulty to completely move on from formative relationships. Sources say Justin was open about locating the track and his response to it. He was trying to reassure Hailey that his emotions were about processing his past rather than challenging their present. Examining the Suez chronology of Justin's journey from Selena to Hailey, particularly their speed run to marriage following his last breakup with Selena in early 2018, helps us to put this concert in perspective. A timeline so quick it would make even love obsolete, Justin reconnected with Hailey, proposed in July, and married her by September. Blind candidates ask, maybe slow down. Selena dropped Lose You to Love Me in October 2019 with lyrics that read, Justin, for filth, in 2 months you replaced us like it was simple, and this whirlpool got even messier. The song's release inspired Hailey to post on her Instagram story a screen grab of Summer Walker's track, I'll Kill You. She swore timing was accidental, but the internet side-aimed it as a not-so-subtle reaction to Selena's track. Hailey has always been in her denial about any crossovers between her situationship with Justin and his Selena chapter on Call Her Daddy. She directly addressed the claims about homewreckers. Notwithstanding these receipts, the timeline debate won't die, particularly given Justin and Selena's brief reunion in early 2018, literally months before Hailey wore a ring. Though these claims give great "trust me bro, this reunion has spawned some wild theories based on some blind items suggesting it involved a secret pregnancy situation, should this be taken with a whole shaker of salt? Clearly, the speed run from Selena to Hailey left significant emotional plot holes, which led to trust problems still haunting the Biebers' marriage today. Finding Selena's secret track reopens all those unresolved questions about Justin's actual sentiments, not only offers a random blast from the past, reportedly going deep. The talk between Justin and Hailey addressed not only his response to the song, but also what it revealed about his emotional processing. Sources claim Justin tried to present his response as appreciating a major chapter in his life story rather than wanting to restart it, while Hailey expressed understanding but natural worry about how severely the track affected him. This talk apparently covered Justin's creative expression about Selena over the years, including songs and interviews in which he referenced her as essentially vital to his story and implied their connection gave soulmate energy for Hailey. These words are not only historical, but also continuous emotional processing that might affect their marriage. Hearing about the hidden track seemed to validate those with such viewpoint. According to Insider Access, Justin's approach to this conversation showed significant improvement from his problematic period, neither gaslighting regarding his emotional response nor allowing it compromise his dedication to Hailey. This measured response points to his evolving from earlier phases when emotional control was obviously lacking in his skill set, particularly with regard to Selena emotions. Even with this development, Justin's intense response to the song captures the complex reality of having your most formative relationship under public scrutiny. For Justin, who actually grew up with Selena during her most transforming years, her artistic view of their shared past naturally strikes different than just another song on his Spotify recommendations. Stan culture dynamics has helped to magnify this response, as Team Selena and Team Hailey armies keep dissecting every interaction for underlying messages. For instance, Selena trending in chats hijacked some of the news of Hailey's pregnancy, instead of emphasizing the major life update of the Biners, a public reminder that in popular culture this triangle still exists rent-free. Following Justin's emotional response, the conversation apparently also covered his mental health journey. Justin has been honest about his battles with drug use and depression. Sources indicate these difficulties still shape their daily lives. Finding Selena's track could have set off not only nostalgia but also complicated emotional processing connected to his larger healing path for Justin. This experience most certainly offers an opportunity for emotional integration, appreciating the significant influence Selena had on his life and remaining dedicated to his future with Hailey while he is publicly living in her era. His response to the song implies he is still working through elements of the Selena chapter in ways that still have great bearing on his identity. Although the result of the conversation is still personal, sources indicate that Justin and Hailey had a vibe check of mutual understanding, even if the emotional complexity this experience revealed still speaks to this pattern of intense emotions. Real talk and continuous processing seem to mirror Justin's recent development in terms of maturity in handling difficult emotions. These questions transcend mere response to a song to the core of Justin's life trip. Has he consumed the emotional teachings from his Selena period completely? Does his strong reaction to her imply unresolved emotions, or only the normal effect of going back over early events? The real question is also whether he can fully show up for his life with Hailey while honoring the relevance of that chapter. By now, I believe we should break out the whole chronology of this. Justin drama flashbacks involving Selena and Hailey. For anyone who has been living under a rock, Justin plus Selena marks the Jelena era. Started between 2010 and 2011, what followed was the ultimate poisonous on-again, off-again scenario that essentially defined the perspective of a whole generation on romance. Their relationship was producing some of the largest stan wars the internet has ever seen, whiplash for almost 8 years before finally winding up in early 2018. In an interview, Justin dropped this big truth bomb when asked about his teenage peak moments. Given he is essentially married to Hailey right now, that confession is significant. Given the memories are obviously still central to his identity, it makes sense this hidden track is striking him so powerfully. Then, there is Hailey Bieber, a total nepo baby and daughter of actor Stephen Baldwin. Thanks to her dad's contacts, her origin story with Justin begins in 2009 when she was just 13 and was experiencing the pinnacle of fan moment backstage at the Today Show. Apparently, the beginning of a master plan meant to make even Kris Jenner take notes was what looked like an innocent stan encounter. The receipts have been mounting, implying Hailey's search of Justin was not only releasing fate vibes, but also deliberate, calculated energy. Claiming Hailey would literally DM fan accounts, begging for Justin's location and then book rooms at his hotels or visit restaurants where he was dining, a former Bieber superfan revealed the tea on YouTube in 2019. Though Make It Hollywood, the dedication is giving Big U vibes. Hailey's gaming also extended to her friend circle. By 2014, she had tightened ties to Kylie and Kendall Jenner, who were already in Justin's orbit. This alliance was a 5-dimensional chess move that got her straight access to Justin's universe without depending on Stan's location. Online detectives began noticing the most unusual pattern. Hailey was actually transforming into Selena too, as she locked her place in Justin's life. From identical fits and poses on Instagram to matching tattoos, the data is absolutely unhinged. The obvious dupe behavior inspired hundreds of side-by-side TikTok compilations. One of the most wild events occurred in June 2015 when Selena debuted a small G for her sister Gracie behind her ear. Then, just 12 days later, Hailey emerged with almost exactly the same G tattoo in exactly the same location. I'm not even kidding. Hailey claimed it was for Georgia, the daughter of her pastor, but the timing gave significant copycat power. Their whole marriage has seen this kind of dishonesty. Hailey debuted a J tattoo on her ring finger in 2019 that eagles-eyed fans immediately found suspiciously similar to the ring Justin had given Selena back in 2012. Even in her business travels, the conspiracy theory girlies were quite feasting Selena's impact lives rent-free in Hailey's decisions. From the production aesthetic to the whole format, even down to including their grandmas introducing recipes. Her cooking show, What's in My Kitchen, got dragged for its startling similarities to Selena Plus Chef, which dropped 2 years earlier. The similarities were so clear-cut that TikHub detectives had an absolute field trip. Fans of Hailey's seeming dupe behavior are left wondering whether her interest in Justin was sincere main character energy, or if she was merely trying to guarantee Selena's place. As these things often are, the truth is most likely messy and complicated AF. What's crystal clear, though, is that Selena's presence haunts their relationship like that girl from The Ring, even though Justin is putting a ring on Hailey. This is quite clear. Based on Justin's own interviews, he has literally described his relationship with Selena as so in love nothing else mattered, which is absolutely brutal given his current wife. Most likely watched that clip in one particularly cringy interview regarding relationship difficulties. Justin's annoyance gives strong Selena flashback signals. Though the song in issue never received formal classification as Selena-coded, the lyrics convinced the Selenators Justin's strange non-answers simply served to fan the flames of conjecture regarding their lifetime relationship. And now we find ourselves at today's major plot twist. Sources in their circle told Justin Selena's secret track on their relationship. When Justin first heard the song, he was totally in his emotions. Witnesses have described him as clearly moved and spending hours later in a nostalgic spiral, traversing old memories and pictures. For Justin, who spent years developing his life with Hailey, this musical discovery serves as an emotional time machine, linking him to the most formative relationship of his life, rather than only a blast from the past. Unlike most breakup songs, the track apparently has references to events and conversations only someone who lived their relationship would know. The timing of this revelation couldn't be more erratic, falling when the buyers are already coping with significant conjecture on their relationship status. While divorce rumors are spreading faster than one dance challenge on TikHub, Stephen Baldwin, Hailey's dad, has been literally pleading with followers to pray for the couple. According to several sources, the couple might have been living apart for months, and their separate attendance at events raises the most serious concerns. These stories, along with blind objects claiming mental health challenges, Justin's substance problems, and possible cheating, create a picture of a marriage that is majorly dysfunctional. We should talk about energy against this chaotic backdrop. Hearing Selena's personal musical interpretation of their relationship strikes different. It implies that Justin's emotional connection to Selena still lives rent-free in his mind, a reality that generates some quite embarrassing feelings for everyone involved, despite the years and his whole marriage era. And now, what is next? The major concern Justin has is integration, not about deciding between past and present. While totally showing up for his commitment to building a life with Hailey, how can he admit the significant influence of his relationship with Selena, amply demonstrated by his response to her claimed track? Given the well-documented messy shift between these relationships, which still drives internet debate, this issue strikes different depending on years later. This integration process is apparently affecting Justin's creative output. Sources claim he's been in the studio working on music that reflects these complex emotions rather than writing especially about either relationship. Justin seems to be in a more mature stage of processing these events, as he is investigating more general ideas about development, responsibility, and the difficulty of juggling several chapters of your emotional story. From his earlier work, which more directly addressed particular relationships, this creative approach shows great evolution. Though more recent work reflected his Hailey era, songs like Nothing Like Us, generally understood as Selena Code, directly reflected their connection. His present artistic investigation apparently seeks to link these apparently disparate narratives into a more coherent sense of his journey for Hailey, who has spent years ensuring her place as Justin's endgame. This integration process presents opportunities as well as difficulties. Although naturally worried about Justin's intense reaction to Selena's song, sources indicate she understands real healing calls for acceptance rather than denial of important past events. Her own emotional development seems to enable her to make the important difference between Justin processing his past and wanting to go back to it for the state of their relationship. This viewpoint shows development from past times when insecurities seem to show up in what many would consider as attempts to manipulate Selena's vibe, from fashion choices and aesthetic to commercial endeavors. Although these similarities might still exist, sources indicate Hailey is growing more confident in her own identity within their relationship, so perhaps allowing Justin to process his past free from compromising their present. Therapy, with Justin continuing mental health support that addresses not only his well-documented challenges, but also the particular emotional complexity of negotiating his relationship history. From his earlier years, when emotional control was obviously not his strong suit, especially around Selena emotions, this therapeutic approach marks significant development. Aside from this personal growth, major outside obstacles for the integration process come from the public aspect of these relationships. The Bieber-Gomez-Baldwin story is not only personal, but also a full-fledged cultural phenomenon with millions spent in interpretations that put drama above nuance. Perfect algorithm fodder, but horrible for real emotional health. Justin's real emotional processing gets complicated by the external pressure this public investment generates. Knowing that every facial expression, Instagram story, or lyric will be examined for his actual feelings creates an environment where privacy, which is necessary for real emotional work, almost never exists. For Hailey, too, the ongoing public shipping of Jelena sets a scene whereby her rightful place in Justin's life is constantly questioned, despite years of marriage. Even Selena, who has mostly gone forward with her own life and apparently gotten engaged to Benny Blanco, is involuntarily part of this story. Her every creative expression for Justin is constantly analyzed to make sure she stays in touch to the story independent of her actual intentions or current focus. The integration process also crosses with more general trends in the Biebers' relationship, including accounts of ongoing difficulties. Stephen Baldwin, Hailey's father, has lately publicly asked prayers for the couple, while separation rumors still abound. Observations that the couple regularly arrive at and leave events separately, implying possible tensions outside the emotional complexity Selena's song introduces, have helped these rumors gain traction. Against this background, Justin's emotional reaction to the hidden track strikes different, maybe reflecting not only a reaction to a song, but also part of a larger emotional inventory, evaluating his life path, choices, and direction forward. Although initially embarrassing for his marriage, this reflective process might eventually help to strengthen it by allowing more real emotional integration for artistic people like Justin and Selena. Often the most natural emotional processing is artistic expression, which generates a musical dialogue spanning conventional closure. In this context, Selena's secret track reflects not necessarily trying to slide back into Justin's DMs, but rather perhaps her own integration process, turning private emotions into art that serves both audience connection and personal healing, as Justin negotiates this integration process. Sources claim he's channeling these complicated feelings into personal development instead of viewing his emotional reaction as evidence he's still hung up on Selena. He apparently sees it as proof of the authenticity and relevance of that chapter, acknowledgement that can coexist with real dedication to his life with Hailey. Based on insider reports, the healthiest result is synthesis instead of separating these emotional stories, by realizing the significant influence of his relationship with Selena while actively choosing and nourishing his dedication to Hailey. Justin might establish a more integrated emotional basis that honors his whole path instead of separating several chapters. As Justin and Hailey get ready for parenthood, a change that inevitably causes introspection on your own developmental experiences and relationship patterns by processing rather than suppressing the emotional complexity exposed by his reaction to Selena's song, this integration becomes especially crucial. For Justin, who has gone through significant personal development from troubled young star to more centered adult, Justin could build better foundations for this next chapter. This merging process marks still another stage in his continuous development. Having promised Hailey through marriage and future parenthood, Justin now faces the difficulty of including his complicated emotional history into a coherent present, a journey that calls not only emotional maturity, but real self-awareness and intentional processing, as Justin continues processing this unexpected connection to his past. He does this not only as someone negotiating difficult emotions, but also as a public person whose emotional journey has become part of our cultural dialogue about growth, healing, and the difficulty of balancing several chapters of our life. Whether his relationship with Hailey can allow for this integration remains to be seen. But his method points to a dedication to authenticity that transcends oversimplified stories of moving on against hanging on. I appreciate you staying right through to the finish. Click on any of the cards showing on your screen to view more movies like this.